The video for this one is on the entertainment example, and I thought it might be helpful. It's just like the one we did in class, but this way you can go back and replay it, look over the things that maybe you didn't quite understand the first time. I have already filled in the variables, and remember that's often the tricky part, defining the variables. Remember, it all has to be defined in terms of one variable. So I chose to make my x equal the number of adult tickets in this example. Since I know that there were 200 total tickets purchased, then that means 200 minus x equals the number of student tickets. Remember, these two things can be changed around, but then it changes how you use them right here in the chart. Then we can just start filling in the chart. Since we know that an adult ticket costs $10, that's the rate. And a student ticket costs $5. Again, that number of tickets in the chart is coming from right here, where we defined our variables. There are X adult tickets sold, which means that there are 200 minus X student tickets sold. To find the total, multiply rate times number of tickets. So for adults, that's pretty easy. It's just 10 times X, or 10X. For the student tickets, you have to distribute 5 to 200, and 5 times 200 is 1,000, and then minus 5 times x, and that's 5x. So now that we're done with step 2, we'll move on to step 3, which is to write the equation and solve it. So the next decision you have to make is, when you're writing your decision, do you want to set these two amounts equal to each other, or do they add up to a total? And if we go back and read the problem, it says how many of each kind of ticket were purchased if 200 tickets were bought for a total of $1,750. So if this is the total amount of money from adult tickets and this is the total amount of money from student tickets, we want these two to add up to 1,750. So our equation looks like this. And then you just solve your equation like normal. You can combine your like terms. Subtract 1,000. And divide by 5 to get x alone. And x then is 150. The next step is to check our solution and to make sure that our solution actually works. We can check it by, again, completing one of these charts and making sure that it adds up to the $1,750 that it should. The rates will be the same. An adult ticket still costs $10 and a student ticket still costs $5. Now the number of tickets has changed, because now that we know what x equals, we can replace x in both of these expressions, which makes the number of adult tickets x, 150, and the number of student tickets 200 minus x. So 200 minus 150 is 50. And again, to find this total in the third column, we just multiply the rate times the number of tickets. So for adults, that's 10 times 150, $1,500. For students, that's 5 times 50, $250. And if you add those together, you do get $1,750, which is what we were looking for. So we have the correct answer. Now we need to do step 5, which is answering the problem. Again, I go back and I read, how many of each kind of ticket were purchased if 200 tickets were bought for $1,750? So I'm looking for the number of student tickets and the number of adult tickets. And I get those answers right here. There were 150 adult tickets and 50 student tickets.